This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Oh yeah, I forgot to fix Kick. I'm sorry, people on Kick. You're not getting the show tonight. My apologies. It's complicated to go and turn you back on. Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. It's freaking Tuesday, isn't it? Yes. Almost said Monday, but I took Monday off. Monday was yesterday. Tuesday, yes. And there's a cat in my lap. Hold on. He must have just went and got a drink of water if you didn't see he had water hanging from his chin. You cute little thing. Red wine. What, the cat? The cat? I don't think he likes to kick rocks. He wanted to get in my closet. That's what he wanted. When I went and got a shirt out of the closet, this motherfucker wanted to bury into the oh, kick. Oh, that makes way more sense. That's really punny, actually. Sorry, maybe I'm too high, not high enough. Who fucking knows? One or the other. Probably too high. I was like, Smokey, like, he probably wouldn't enjoy kicking rocks. Though this motherfucker wants to go feral. Right? So he wants to go outside and he wants to go feral so fucking bad. Don't you, buddy? He was missing for 8 days one time. We had to use a live animal trap to get him. Because he wouldn't just come to me, even though he'll just come to me around the house because he's feral when he's outside. It's the wildest thing. You miss our porch with the patio, and it was a screened-in patio. Which I had to have the screen replaced in my back patio because this motherfucker tried to claw a hole into it. Use a silly cat. He's over here being silly right now in my lap. Orb! Welcome in, my friend. We got a lot of shit to talk about. I took yesterday off, so there's like all kinds of news shit going on. We're going to be talking about Aaron. They have issued a state of emergency in North Carolina ahead of Aaron. I have wild video of an explosion in North Carolina where a car crashed into a gas main. We're going to talk about, is Washington, D.C., are they manipulating the crime statistics? D.A. Chigger, you talk about how the prosecutor for D.C., Ed Martin, at the DOJ, took pictures in front of Letitia James' house. Like, you don't have to ask me, oh, you're going to cover it? Yes, I am, because that's what I do. Putin bought an Alaska dude a motorcycle for some reason. Texas Democrats, two of them slept overnight in the Texas State House. One said they were threatened by the cops when they have to have a police escort in order to be left, to be allowed to leave the chamber. They had to sign on to a permission slip to be led around by a police escort. Two of them refused to sign it. Had to sleep in the chamber. This is insane. Then it was chaos at a California redistricting hearing. Kristi Noem saw a rusty border wall and decided she wanted to paint it black. Apparently that was Trump's deal. I'm going to tell you about the story that the right-wing media is getting ready to drive into the ground. What was her name that got murdered? They all they did was talk about her all the time. I can't even remember it now. It's amazing to me. It was like that young girl that got murdered by an undocumented migrant in Georgia. Laken Riley, that's it. It came to me. This is the new Laken Riley, folks. If you have not heard about it yet, you're getting ready to hear about it all fucking week. We've apparently got some video of the incident. It was a legal U-turn in Florida. Ended up killing 3 people. A social media influencer apparently shot to death. We're going to tell you about a couple of good cops in Utah. A Texas arrest is causing controversy because when aren't arrests in Texas causing controversy? We had that Walmart stabbing in Michigan a couple of weeks ago. We now have footage of it from inside the Walmart. A car slammed into a food reviewer's live stream. The Deputy Attorney General of Rhode Island was arrested. It's another one of those, I love these videos where they're like, don't you know who I am? Which, when it's in the Attorney General's office with the cops, here's the thing, is like, they kind of are the cop's boss. A woman's mugshot has went viral. And we're going to show you a raccoon hitching a ride, all that, and a lot freaking more. Tonight on the Troll Patrol, live. That's why, like, please, don't. I will get to it. Whatever story you're referring to, I'll get to. If it was interesting, I assure you, it's gonna make the show. That's just like I'll have people come in and be like, "Hey, did you cover this story?" Yeah, like 20 minutes ago. You weren't here for it. Just sit back and let me take you on the news ride. Meat Cakes, welcome in. Flo. I'm not Flo. I don't know that it was a gas main that was a above ground. I don't know. I think it was a gas main. I don't. Slammed into a gas something. It's one of the first stories we're gonna do, so we'll find out. But it's a cool video, I assure you. Yes, I did indeed hear about that one thing that happened. And there's so much news, I can't even get to fucking everything. You guys, I've thought about doing this segment where I just throw on my watch later from YouTube, because it's all news. Like, it's nothing. Like, I have my own personal playlist for shit I want to go back and watch. My watch later on YouTube is just shit for the show. And they're the things that, like, I don't end up covering. There's a lot of, like, weird crime stories that never made the show. It's not wild how much shit happens. It's how much access we have to information now. Like, we cover a lot of crime stories on the show because we have a lot of access to crime stories, but crime is lower than what it was 50 years ago. Shit was wild when we had the lead poisoning statistics running around, just committing crime willy-nilly. There it is. That's the end of it. You saw it blink. That was the end of the vape. Light one up, tip one back, fuckers. You might not be able to light one up if you are in North Carolina. The wind may be a little bit too strong for you to get your lighter to light. Or maybe it's a little too damp, a little too moist as Hurricane Aaron moves into the region.
Meantime, we want to turn to weather impacts, but because, of course, we're keeping an eye on the very latest with Hurricane Aaron. We know that this is causing some evacuations and a state of emergency for particularly our coastal areas. So we want to bring in weather impact meteorologist Becca Birdsall to talk more about what we're seeing and what it's looking like. So I guess, run us through the very latest with Aaron and what sort of concerns we may or may not have for our area.
The main concerns are really going to be along the coast. Beach erosion, rip current impacts, and tidal flooding all going to be expected, which is why we do have tropical storm warnings out for portions of the Outer Banks. For tropical storm force winds expected, that's 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts and greater. We're also expecting some of those large breaking waves to be from 7 to 12 feet in the surf zone, with the potential for that coastal flood warning that is in effect for 2 to 3 feet of water above ground level. So what we're worried about really as we head into the next several days is this could cause quite a bit of coastal flooding, especially out over towards the Outer Banks, because they are going to be closest in proximity to this storm, about 200 miles away from the center of it, especially going into Thursday. That could result in a lot of property damage. So what we can expect really going into this late Wednesday and all day Thursday. Latest track of Hurricane Aaron now. This is the 2 p.m. advisory. Winds have weakened down a bit. Sustained max at about 105 miles per hour, and it's moving north-northwest at about 10, still about 630 miles southwest of Bermuda. So this continues to track up to the north. That latest forecast track showing it will remain off the
Got lucky, Jesus.
bands with coastal Carolina.
Now earlier in the week, or last week, it was showing that it was going to track like up this way and not even come close to the coast. And all the models were kind of, I don't want to say that they were wrong, but they were off.
But the center of that storm going to be well
But it's also hard to predict what's going to happen a week out.
between Wednesday and Thursday before steering off to sea as we approach your Friday.
Dougie.
Now, the winds are going to create some massive swells and wave heights.
But now here's the thing. There are 2 more storms coming right behind Aaron.
Could be anywhere from 7 to 12 feet, like I mentioned, again, especially over towards the Outer Banks. And this is going to cause just a nightmare in terms of rip current risks as well, with pretty much the entire coast from Florida all the way up to the northeast encompassed under some sort of moderate to high risk. So for today, alongside coastal Carolinas between both north and south, high between today all the way through Friday. Will start to recover a little bit towards the weekend, but a few locations, especially over towards the Outer Banks, actually have a double red flag waving at the beach. That means the beach is closed. We also got reports of about 60 people that were rescued from Wrightsville Beach because of these dangerous swimming conditions. So while, yes, this can certainly disrupt vacation, maybe your last
Go fuck your vacation.
before, summer starts, but swimming is definitely discouraged going into this week. Maybe just want to hit the pool instead. So Futurecast.
Let's get some of the pictures of what has been going on the coast today.
All eyes on the Atlantic with Hurricane Aaron supercharging waves along North Carolina's Outer Banks. In this satellite image, you can see lightning flash in the eye of the storm. Officials warning conditions are expected to deteriorate over the next 24 hours.
We're going to see significant flooding potential, and it's forecast to be 2 to 4 feet above dry ground with wave action on top. That could inundate part of our community.
Coastal flooding already impacting some areas along the Outer Banks, both Hatteras and Ocracoke Islands under mandatory evacuation orders, with more than 2,100 people ferried off Ocracoke. Many beachside rental properties threatened by Hurricane Aaron now empty. Alessandro Vanni moved his family to safer ground after evacuating their rental home on Hatteras Island.
We decided that maybe we could extend the trip if we came here, since this wasn't an evacuation area.
Despite the potential flooding and storm surge warnings, some locals plan to stay put.
If it were anything like landfall or a Category 3 landfall, we would be out of here.
If the roads are washed out, if they do get cut off, what do they need to be prepared for?
Despite the fact that it is a Category 2 as it passes by the East Coast, it is a massive storm. It is huge in size.
Just to be prepared to take care of themselves for an extended period of time.
With the storm inching closer to the eastern seaboard, hurricane hunters using the opportunity to study how tropical systems form and intensify. Meanwhile, communities from Florida to New England bracing for dangerous rip currents.
Friendly reminder, the water is closed today.
The threat also shutting down beaches in New York and New Jersey with waves up to 13 feet possible.
This is no time to be complacent. Going in the ocean for the next number of days is something you got to avoid.
Back in North Carolina, double red flags warning beachgoers that even with the hurricane hundreds of miles away, it's just not safe to go into the water.
And Aaron joins us now live tonight. And Aaron, this is important. Even if your beach isn't closed, people up and down the East Coast have to be careful right now.
You're absolutely right, Tom. You take a look at the waves here. They have been getting more and more aggressive throughout the day here. We know that there's a storm surge, again, expected to reach maybe 2 to 4 feet as soon as this time tomorrow. And already the tropical storm watch that's been put in place has now been extended far up the Virginia coast. Tom?
Aaron Gilchrist leading us off tonight. Aaron, thank you. We thank you for watching. And remember, stay up.
Shut up, Tom Llama.
On the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
I miss Lester still. I never thought I would say that. He's not even gone. He's just gone from the ending of the video, so I can't cuss at him. The Midwest has been experiencing significant flooding over the last couple of weeks. A refinery in Indiana telling customers that you're going to have to put up with some smell.
Some people living in northwest Indiana still cleaning up after the severe thunderstorms last night. It flooded basements and stalled cars across the Chicago area, but it also impacted some operations over at the BP refinery in Whiting. NBC5's V Wynn is live there with a look at the conditions. V?
Alex, I'm told neighbors reported a smell and odor in this area earlier today. Right now, you can see behind me there is still some standing water here in Whiting. BP also telling us their crews have been on site monitoring the situation and responded after a sheen was reported on 121st Street and even in Lake Michigan near the plant process lines. New video from Sky 5 shows this parking lot flooded at the BP Whiting refinery after severe storms pounded the area with heavy rain and thunderstorms Monday night. Other parts of northwest Indiana also clearing out from the water, including this homeowner in Hammond.
The water just started coming up from the basement. I'm sorry about the smell.
Johanna Gill says her basement has flooded at least 5 times since
I'm sorry about the smell.
Not sure how much more.
Another once in a lifetime weather event, it seems, or once in a 100-year weather event.
My daughter was crying. The baby was upset. We were just on the stairs looking. I took up my phone. I recorded, and it was just like, not again.
Her daughter lives in the basement and says everything you see here destroyed from the overflow.
I'm still like emotionally drained and like physically drained because it's like we thought we would never have to deal with this again.
Her hat says melanin, like it's the Friends logo. That's awesome.
You know how times are.
Mayor Thomas McDermott says at least 300 homes had some type of damage and that every part of their water system was overwhelmed. Since Sunday, he says they've been hit with more than 8 inches of water, 5 inches in less than 24 hours.
I do want to say I'm sorry. I feel horrible for what's going on for all the residents that suffered damage last night, but there's nothing we could have done. And we could have had, our plant is rated for 70 million gallons a day. If our plant was rated at 100 million gallons a day, we would have still suffered catastrophic flooding last night.
At least 8 vehicles were stalled overnight near 131st Place and Sheffield Avenue, some drivers waiting for their vehicles to be towed out hours later. At its peak, the water was waist deep.
I was just trying to go to work. I was trying to make it, but yeah, I got stuck. It was hard to tell, honestly, because it was dark, you know. So.
Don't drive through the water.
It's worse.
No matter how big of a vehicle you're driving, do not try.
He says that crews actually deployed a containment boom before that sheen was spotted on Lake Michigan. Again, they do have crews on site assessing and monitoring the situation out here. We'll have another update for you coming up at 5. I'll send it back to you.
If the water is covering the road, it is enough to sweep your vehicle away. Do not try to drive through it. Let's find out exactly what this car hit in North Carolina that caused an explosion. It had something to do with gas. This happened in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Just getting into our newsroom here as first responders are on the scene after a driver plowed into a veterinary clinic over in Wilmington, rupturing a natural gas line, causing a fire and injuring 3 firefighters. That is according to local media. Wilmington police saying a driver veered off the road and struck the Eastern Carolina Vet Referral Building. That was around 11:30 this morning. But again, all of this video...
Not a gas main, a veterinarian clinic that had...
They hit the gas line to the building.
The gas line in it.
Left the scene, we're told, but was quickly apprehended. Again, according
and
to...
left the scene.
Was citing the police department. Footage taken by Jordan Branyan, that's what you're seeing right there on your screen, shows moments after the impact. The vet clinic's website states that it would be open for business starting September 15th, so about a month from now. We know that 3 firefighters were injured in the incident, according to police, and officials advised people to stay away from the scene of that active investigation. Again, video there that is very hard to look at, as you can see all of the smoke and the debris that is falling.
So are they saying they know, because it apparently just happened, this was earlier today. Are they saying that the clinic isn't going to be back open until the 15th, or that it wasn't open and it was supposedly going to open on the 15th?
From the sky, officials there on the scene providing some brief comments here. I do want to play them for you on Live Now from Fox.
Explosion. There were no civilians inside, only fire personnel. Upon the explosion, there was flames showing obviously through the roof, and so we evacuated the building. 3 firefighters were injured during that explosion and evacuation. They have since been taken to the hospital, 2 with non-life-threatening injuries and 1 with severe injuries.
Yeah, I think we're going to hear from the owners, I think, of the clinic here.
Now with Ariana Bertolotti, who is...
This was posted like an hour ago.
Now, she has more information on the driver who actually caused this explosion. Ariana?
Yeah, Fran, we know that driver is in custody tonight, but we don't know their name or the charges they face. However, we do know that he was allegedly impaired when the hit-and-run explosion occurred. Now, this explosion has put part of
Light one up, tip one back.
I'm standing in the middle of New Center Drive right now. How often can you see that at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday? Now, here's some video we took earlier today of crews responding to work down the knock flames here along New Center Drive. When the crash initially happened, we're told construction workers inside the veterinary building smelled gas and got out. The building was in the final stages of construction and was set to open in a few weeks. We're also told Bob King GMC evacuated as a precaution, and it's a move that likely saved many lives. Also considering veterinary employees were supposed to be in that building just hours later. The vet clinic's administrator, Gary Walker, says
wow.
The damage and the setback, he's grateful that this was the worst of it.
Surreal. It was like, this can't be happening. We're just a few weeks away from our grand opening and being able to provide services here in Wilmington. We put a lot of work into this project. It's about a 4-year project that we were just wrapping up. And then coming up to it and seeing the smoke and seeing the fire department and the debris all over the road was just surreal.
Amazing no one died.
Debris like you see here was found blocks away from the initial explosion. Now, street sweepers are working to clean up this street, but there's no word yet when the road will reopen. Now, with that, I'm going to send it back to you, Fran.
All right, Ariana, thanks so much.
For most customers.
Ended abruptly there. She's a good reporter. She's going to go places. Right-wing media. No, amazingly no casualties. Just 3 people injured. 1 critically and the other 2 with minor to severe but gonna make it injuries. Was that how I heard? Did I hear that right? Somebody else verify me on that. I think that's what it was. No, there was no animals. It was set to open next month. Progressive Squirrel, welcome in. So just as the owner or the administrator, he was the administrator. As he said, just like glad that was all of it. So no fatalities, no animals injured. So thankfully. Over on right-wing media, they have been going nuts over the fact that the Justice Department has opened an investigation into the D.C. police over apparently manipulating data. Now, this is the same administration that fired the head of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, but they think that the D.C. police, which I don't doubt, cops lie, have been manipulating crime data.
These allegations of manipulating crime statistics has been around for quite some time now. It was back on May 20.
Yeah, it was under the Biden administration when it
The
started.
DC Police Union actually put out a press release and made that allegation. Then News 4 began to look into it. And we broadcast and published our own story back on July 18th. And now we've learned the Justice Department has launched its own investigation. Last month, News 4 first reported that MPD Commander Michael Pulliam had been placed on paid administrative leave, accused of manipulating crime data in the 3rd District. Pulliam denies the allegations. In that same report, the chairman of the D.C. Police Union, Greg Pemberton, said the manipulation of crime data was common in the department and done to make it appear violent crime was lower than it actually is.
When our members respond to the scene of a felony offense where there is a victim reporting that a felony occurred, inevitably there will be a lieutenant or a captain that will show up on that scene and direct those members to take a report for a lesser offense. So instead of taking a report for a shooting or a stabbing or a carjacking, they will order that officer to take a report for a theft or an injured person to the hospital or a felony assault, which is not the same type of classification.
Pemberton said when the
Now that just sounds like fucking hearsay on his part.
Classifications are changed, they are not reflected in the violent crime statistics. At the time of our initial report, D.C. crime data shows violent crime was down 26%.
Which is in line with the national averages. So I believe it.
Compared to the same time last year, and overall crime was down 8%. Our report caught the attention of President Trump, who mentioned it at his news conference a week ago Monday, and last night posted to Truth Social that the D.C. Police Department was under serious investigation. But in an interview last week with News 4's Mark Seagraves, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said the D.C. Police Internal Affairs investigation into changing crime stats was only focused on Commander Pulliam.
I think that what Paul's reporting revealed is that the chief of police had concerns about one commander, investigated all 7 districts, and verified that the concern was with one person. So we are completing that investigation.
The mayor's office today declined to comment on the new federal investigation being conducted by the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Cherry Lauga.
Now, this story is quite fluid at the moment, as you can imagine. We've been reaching out to several people trying to get some comment. I did reach out to Chief Smith. She has not responded so far. And also reached out to Greg Pemberton, the chairman of the police union. He has also not responded to a request for comment. So at this point, we're still trying to get a little bit more information as to what's going on with this investigation and how MPD may be responding to it.
And Paul, we know that you mentioned about Chief Smith. She did not want to go on camera, but you did speak to her at length and give you a statement. What did she tell you?
Yeah, back on July 18th, the chief came to the television station. I sat down and I interviewed her for about an hour. It was on the record, but she didn't want to go on camera. And afterwards, she instead decided to give us a statement. I'm quoting now from this statement that she gave us at the time. She says, "I do not condone any official reclassifying criminal offenses outside the guidelines set in MPD policy. Any allegation of this behavior will be dealt with through an internal process." So that's what she said at the time. It's curious to know how she's responding to this information now today. We're still working on that.
All right, a lot more questions to be answered. Paul Wagner live for us tonight. Paul, thank you.
I feel like radioactive wasps are more of an issue. Found in it. Wasn't it in North Carolina where they found those too at some reactor? Now we've got radioactive hot dogs or some shit. Did I not see that today? No, shrimp. We got radioactive shrimp. That's what it was. I just want to talk about the radioactive shrimp. This one is wild. You wouldn't think. Fair enough, Flash. Julie, you don't have to. You don't have to. It was mainly we were covering the hurricane. That was the DC crime was the first real story. You don't have to leave us. We were just doing hurricane coverage and following where it was going. So you haven't missed any politics or crime stories or anything. Though the explosion in North Carolina was pretty cool. Fucking veiny hot dogs. God damn it. This is a wild one. So Ed Martin the prosecutor for the DOJ was seen being photographed outside of the home of Letitia James.
New video obtained exclusively by CNN. It shows the director of the DOJ's weaponization working group, Ed Martin, posing for photos outside of New York Attorney General Letitia James's home last week. All of this after he called for her resignation and is currently conducting investigations into her conduct. CNN's Kara Scannell is following the story for us. Kara, an unusual move.
Yeah. The weaponization task force in the DOJ as he weaponizes the DOJ to go after Trump's enemies.
It is unusual, Boris. Usually you don't see a prosecutor who is leading an investigation going to visit the subject or the potential target of that investigation. Ed Martin was recently put in charge of the investigation.
Especially not taking pictures.
New York Attorney General Letitia James. There's an investigation looking into whether she committed mortgage fraud and also an investigation that is looking into her civil lawsuit that was brought against Donald Trump, his adult sons, and the company. And you can see here on this video, Ed Martin is there with a colleague from the Department of Justice. He's outside of Letitia James's home, and he does pose for a photograph with him, pose for a photograph outside of that home. Now, he was on Fox News on Sunday, and he said that he was there because he had had meetings in New York and New Jersey, and that he decided to go by the home. He said you have to lay eyes on it, and also saying that you got to get a sense of what is at stake. But as you can see there, that's very
What does that mean?
For a prosecutor to be there. And Letitia James's attorney, Albie Lowell, has pushed back. He wrote a letter to Ed Martin yesterday in which he highlighted this.
I would assume a judge will absolutely reprimand him for this. There's no way that if there was something that they thought that they could get a conviction on, there's no way they could now.
Letitia James' home, which they say is an intimidation tactic. He also pointed out that soon after being appointed to be leading this investigation, that Ed Martin called for James's resignation, and then also went on Fox News on Sunday and said that he wanted to look into every aspect of James's life, which some people would call a fishing expedition. So Lowell has said that, were there any doubts as to your political retributive mission? You erased them in your first statements about your appointment when you stated that your assignment is to, quote, stick the landing. A responsible and credible federal prosecutor is not a pommel horse gymnast. Now, I've spoken with other former federal prosecutors who also say that these moves are highly unusual, and it could have real-world implications. If the grand jury were to return an indictment, this could be something that Letitia James' legal teams could use to argue to the judge that the jury pool has been prejudiced and that this was a selective prosecution. Of course, James has been criticized herself for campaigning on saying that she was going to investigate Donald Trump. She does have that court victory in the civil lawsuit where a judge has ordered Trump to pay $500 million. We reached out to the Department of Justice, and they declined to comment.
The Department of Justice wasting their time going after Letitia James instead of prosecuting a man who apparently solicited a 15-year-old girl. I'm sorry. it's possible that the DOJ actually did have a hand in this. They might have helped him escape. Israeli government official charged with soliciting a 15-year-old girl in Las Vegas. Police say Tom Artyom Alexandrovich brought condom and thought he was meeting a teenager for sexual contact. The Israeli government official charged with soliciting a minor believed he was meeting a 15-year-old girl for sexual contact, according to police, and brought a condom to the planned rendezvous in Las Vegas. Alexandrovich, a division head at the Israel National Cyber Directorate, was arrested in a police sting operation aimed at online users seeking to sexually prey on children. Alexandrovich chatted with an officer posing as a teenager online before being arrested. The sexual contact included bringing a condom and taking the decoy to Cirque du Soleil, which stages elaborate shows along the Las Vegas Strip. Details of the arrest came as the State Department denied the U.S. government played any role in releasing the Israeli official after Alexandrovich was able to return to Israel once he had bonded out of jail in connection with the felony charge. A swarm of commentary online, propelled in part by Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, speculated that Alexandrovich had been shielded by the government at a time when the Trump administration has been struggling to contain criticism over unfulfilled promises to release all files related to the prosecution of the late disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Department of State is aware that Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, an Israeli citizen, was arrested in Las Vegas and given a court date for charges related to soliciting sex electronically from a minor. The State Department wrote on X he did not claim diplomatic immunity and was released by a state judge pending a court date. Any claims the U.S. government intervened are false. The statement came after Greene, who has recently broken with the White House over Israel's military campaign in Gaza, questioned Alexandrovich's case on Monday, claiming that the government had released a child sex predator from Israel who works directly under the Prime Minister of Israel. Abramovich, I've been saying it right. No, wait a minute, huh? Is it Abramovich or Alexandrovich? I thought Alexandrovich sounded like a Russian name. Abramovich absolutely sounds like a Jewish name. That's a Jewish name. I think it's Abramovich. But man, have they got it wrong multiple times. Oh, let's find out. Is it Alexandrovich? I think it's Alexandrovich. The police say Alexandrovich. So they could be quoting the police. But I'll go with Alexandrovich right now. Alexandrovich was arrested as he arrived at an agreed-upon location for a meetup. He told police he believed he was chatting with an 18-year-old. Alexandrovich stated he felt the girl pushed him to talk about bringing a condom, yet could not remember how many times the girl pushed him. Alexandrovich stated he was embarrassed for being arrested. Court records reviewed by Reuters showed a $10,000 bond was posted at Alexandrovich's case at the Henderson Detention Center. The records indicate that he is due back in court on the 27th. A post on Israel's government website from November describes Alexandrovich as the head of the Technological Defense Division at the Israel National Cyber Directorate. A screenshot on Alexandrovich's LinkedIn page, first reported by Mediaite, describes him as the same. A post on Alexandrovich's page alluded to his having been in Las Vegas earlier in August for the Black Hat Briefings, a yearly meeting of cybersecurity professionals. His LinkedIn page has been deleted. The White House asked in a press briefing, why did Trump not take Putin's call? Apparently Putin called while he was meeting with everyone yesterday, as I understand it, while he was with the European leaders. White House asked why he didn't take the call with the European leaders and instead waited to talk to Putin later. X knows I've been talking shit about it's being slow to pull up.
Okay, if the point is to get everybody on the same page, why wouldn't Trump just take the call from Putin while the other leaders were in the room? He said it would be disrespectful to do that. But why is it disrespectful?
With all due respect, only a reporter from the New York Times would ask a question like that, Sean. The president met with all of these European leaders at the White House 48 hours after sitting down with President Putin on American soil. In fact, there was so much progress in the readout that was given to these European leaders immediately following his meeting with President Putin that every single one of them got on a plane 48 hours later and flew to the United States of America. And if I could just read for all of you some of the statements from those European leaders yesterday, you had President Zelensky himself saying it was a very good conversation. It was really good. We spoke about very sensitive points. The Secretary General, Mark Rutte, it was the president, only because of the president, that this deadlock was broken, but with President Putin by starting a dialogue. So these leaders, who this war is in their backyard, are very grateful that the president took that call and that he was there to provide them with a readout of Russia's thinking on this, something that was not done by the previous administration at all. Catherine.
Please don't hate me, guys. Her hair looks really nice. Caroline Levitt can absolutely be my GOP mommy. Even the graphic did, like, it fucked up. It was like, no, you don't. No, not that one. One more time. She can be my GOP mommy. Thank you, Anna Paulina Luna. I clearly have a thing for ladies with pretty hair. Silent Globus, welcome in. DJ Dub. Holiday, my friend. Alien, Ducky. Flash, T-. Big Ben. Curiouser, Julie. So many people snuck in here on me. Joni's hair is gorgeous. Don't you dare insult Joni's hair. It's just Trump in the same costume. Ooh. Putin has apparently agreed to a meeting with Zelensky, a trilateral meeting.
President Trump accomplished over the last few days has been nothing short of remarkable. We are now 3.5 years into the war between Russia and Ukraine, a brutal conflict that has claimed hundreds of thousands of Russian and Ukrainian lives and cost trillions of dollars. The weakness and incompetence of Joe Biden foolishly allowed the killing to start in the first place.
How'd I know? How did I know? How did I know that she was getting ready to mention Joe Biden?
Until President Trump returned to office in January, the bloody and broken Biden status quo was to endlessly force American taxpayers to fund Ukraine no matter the cost, no matter how long it takes, and no matter how many lives were lost. There is no denying that Biden's America Last foreign policy moved the world further away from peace. President Trump rejected that failed approach, and instead, over the last 7 months, has relentlessly pursued peace throughout his second term. And thanks to President Trump's efforts, we finally have movement after years of deadly gridlock. On Friday, as you all know, many of you were there, President Trump hosted Russian President Vladimir Putin in Anchorage, Alaska, for a bilateral meeting. This was the first time President Putin has been to the United States since 2015, and the first time he has met with an American president in years. President Putin publicly confirmed what President Trump has said all along. The war between Russia and Ukraine never would have started in the first place if President Trump were in office. This was always obvious to any person with a shred of common.
I thought this was going to be something about Putin accepting and not Carolyn Levitt just going.
W. Bush, Russia invaded Georgia. Under Barack Obama, Russia took Crimea. Under Joe Biden, Russia invaded Ukraine. But under to begin the next phase of the peace process.
Wow.
Between President Putin and President Zelensky, which would be.
Well, yeah, but the New York Post shouldn't have posted that.
Between President Putin, President Zelensky, and President Trump. As the president said, Vice President Vance, Secretary Rubio.
And it's just a clip of the press secretary.
With Russia and Ukraine to make this happen as soon as possible. It's very important to remember that before President Trump's landslide victory last November,
she's nervous around
to this bloodshed. Now there may finally be light at the end of the tunnel and an opportunity for lasting peace. That's because President Trump is the peace president, and American leadership is back on the world stage.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. Oh, I do. Speaking of the New York Post, this also comes from the New York Post, which is basically just glazing Putin now, I guess. Putin gives Alaska man a new motorcycle after he complained about the cost to repair his Soviet-era bike because of the war. Oh, God, do we have video of this?
What do you think it is?
Looks like
it does look like a bike.
Looks like a Ural.
Show me.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. It's wow.
Russian media.
This is a personal gift from the President of the Russian Federation.
Very good.
To you.
Very good.
Thank you.
It's
Give
just
the key again, please.
Okay.
Can you give it again? Yeah. So here's the key.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me.
Oh, it's night and day. This is so much smoother, so much nicer. I like my other machine as well, but this obviously is a lot better.
He wanted to repair his other machine.
It's more precise. It's better handling. It's a nicer machine. You know, it's.
Нет, главное сделать таможню, потому что это такой неподсанкционный.
Motherfucker not out here riding an American bike.
Классный тестик в Чикаго. Я ему именно пробивает адрес. Потом уже там телефон.
это я тебе переслал с полицейского репорта.
It looks cool.
Okay, all right, I gotta actually tighten this up.
This is the old bike.
That's all I needed. It's a wonderful machine, but it is problematic. So, you know, that's the way it goes. But the trunk is.
We used to drive.
Avalon. So I guess that was part of the propaganda campaign when Putin came over here. Let's get this dude a new motorcycle. Two representatives in Texas apparently had to sleep in the House chambers overnight after returning back from their protest to not allow Republicans to have a quorum to do their redistricting plan. The Republicans had made them all sign permission slips that they would be followed by the cops. What a waste of taxpayer money. They all had to have police escorts in order to be able to leave the Texas State House. 2 of them refused to sign. That's why they had to spend the night in the Texas State House.
Andy and Lisa, back with you. Democratic lawmakers have now returned to the state after breaking quorum to avoid a vote on a Republican plan that could dramatically shift the balance of power in Congress.
Although the House will not convene until tomorrow, one Democrat has moved into the chamber to avoid being followed by DPS. Here's NBC's Ryan Chandler.
Well, with Democrats now back in Austin at the Texas Capitol, Republicans are closer than ever to passing their redistricting bill to create 5 more Republican seats in the Texas congressional delegation. But while the quorum break is over from the Democrats, they are still protesting the ways in which Republicans are giving them consequences for that quorum break. The Speaker of the House allowing Democrats to leave the House chamber only on the condition that they submit to 24/7 monitoring from an individual DPS officer.
That's insane.
On Wednesday. That has made a lot of Democrats here very mad. In fact, there is a Democrat on the House floor right now because she refuses to comply with that. Representative Nicole Collier from the DFW area staging this silent protest, saying that I would rather stay here until Wednesday than submit to a DPS officer following my every move. That's the big controversy here at the Capitol today. Meanwhile, Republicans continue to make progress on that redistricting bill, passing it out of committee, setting it on a glide path to passage later this week. In Austin, I'm Ryan Chandler. Back to you.
Ryan, thank you.
Yeah, I think they should have the Republicans arrest them. Texas Democrat says she was threatened with arrest after escort lost her on trail. Texas State Rep Cheryl Cole said Tuesday in a post on Twitter that an escort from the Texas Department of Public Safety, who she said was forced upon her to track her every movement, lost track of her on the trail, became angry, and made a scene in front of her constituents. While a little shaken up from the incident, I remain undeterred by this intimidation tactic by House Republicans to have a 24/7 state police presence to intimidate me and my colleagues. Cole's account of the incident comes as fellow Democratic State Rep Nicole Collier has chosen to stay on the floor of the State House chamber for more than 24 hours rather than have a law enforcement officer shadow her. After the State House, Democrats returned to the Lone Star State on Monday, ending their 2-week out-of-state stint to prevent Republicans from passing a new congressional map in a redistricting effort. State Speaker Dustin Burrows declared that those who came back would have an officer with them to ensure they didn't leave the state again. Collier chose to stay in the State House overnight instead and told MSNBC's Ali Batali that she would stay as long as it takes. At the moment that the directive was issued, I felt like it was wrong. It's just wrong to require grown people to get a permission slip to roam about freely, so I resisted. Cole said she stands in solidarity with Collier, who has refused to go along with this charade. We will not be intimidated by this, and history will remember this. The Texas legislature is expected to approve a new map as soon as this week, with enough Democrats back in the state for the body to conduct business. I believe Republicans in California also trying to pull some bullshit to stop the Democrats in California from doing the same.
Witnesses.
This was today in the California State Assembly.
Motion to amend.
Second. Amend what?
Amend ACA, and I would like that the sergeants pass these amendments out so that way everybody could read them.
Give me 1 second, please.
He said amend what? Oh God, yawning's contagious. I'm going to yawn in a second. This was earlier today when they were unveiling the maps. I believe this dude's a Republican. He's trying to hold up this coming out of committee by trying to propose like a
So these are not authors
insane amendment.
So the rule you cited is not
It
relevant.
says a member, does not say the author.
But they are not authors' amendments.
Once again, it's
The committee rules are clear that this is related to authors' amendments only. These are not being offered by the author of the ACA.
This is not clear.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, this is the Republicans trying to hold this hearing up. Apparently, did not work.
The author is Rivas and McGuire.
In section 2, it's that we authored this, actually.
We prepared this ACA.
Okay, give me one moment to thoroughly answer your question. And your motion is not in order as well.
Madam Chair, I asked to read the amendments into the journal.
Second.
I reject that. No.
On what grounds, Madam Chair?
No, just a stalling tactic.
So there's transparency and bipartisanship.
And just in the last few hours, they've actually sued
I'd like to move the bill
to stop this.
Move the item.
We have a motion to approve the bill.
Madam, the motion to read into the journal takes
One
precedent.
one second, please. And I'd like to recognize Assemblymember Stephanie.
I move to lay the amendments on the table.
So you're not going to allow us to debate or present these amendments for anybody to read. They're just going to vote on them, correct?
The motion is to lay the amendments on the table.
So none of my colleagues are going to read this before they vote on it, correct? I just want to clarify.
As it is, so I'm good.
Madam Chair, we just...
You could make them better.
We just heard,
I don't think they will.
We just
haven't
heard
seen them.
both testimony from the author.
We haven't even heard all the testimonies, so let's try to get through this hearing on the bill, all right? Let's try to hear the bill in its current form. We have a motion to lay the amendments on the table. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
But Madam Chair, we made the statement that we're making this very transparent.
We have a motion to lay the amendments on the table.
And
we're going to proceed with that motion.
Wait a second. The whole thing is that this is about transparency and that you want fairness in this. We got the language at 8 o'clock. All we're asking is for our input to be taken. You didn't talk to me as your vice chair about this, so here's our opportunity.
What gives a shit about the Republican input?
Participation in this. And Mr. Tonypa came prepared. The rules state this, that I would be happy to bring the chief clerk in to review this. I don't know why you're shutting this down.
And Madam Chair, I would have presented this to you sometime sooner at any other time. I had no time. We didn't receive this, and yet there are authors on this before I even got to see this. I didn't get this till last night because we were not informed. So my question is, since everybody's prepared, since you're so fine with the ACA, is how much time did they get to prepare before I did? Why am I not deserve that same for the 500,000 representatives that I get to represent in my district? Why am I not granted that same right to defend them?
I believe we have a law in California that members get 72 hours before final vote on any legislation to review the legislation and the language of the legislation before they vote.
But Mr.
on
Berman,
that language as the final version. I saw this language yesterday. I saw this language yesterday.
You saw this like
It was in print yesterday morning, correct?
It was in
And
print.
that's when I saw. And that's when I
It was
saw.
in print,
And
but when was it
was
seen?
in print,
I
and
saw
you're
it
a
yesterday.
co-author on it immediately?
Yeah.
So you had seen that even before it was printed, you were already a co-author?
Yeah, I absolutely support the concept. I had faith in the authors to draft the right language. They did, and I support it.
But I
For
did
the
not have that
concept,
same.
but you didn't even read
I did not
language.
have that same ability.
You weren't aware of the concept? You weren't aware of the news that we
No,
were
that's
planning
not
on
what I'm
doing
saying,
that?
Mr. Berman. what I'm
Excuse me, we
saying-
have the chief clerk here,
I am simply just
Sue Parker.
asking for the same amount of time, so that way I can go into this just as much as everybody else.
I saw the language
and that
when it
there
went
are
into print yesterday
amendments,
morning.
and I understand that, and I have a different opinion on
Yeah.
that, and that's okay because
And
I'm
we both get
granted.
72
all right,
hours
excuse
to
me,
review
we're
the
gonna-
language
hey,
before we vote on it.
Hey,
I'm asking for.
we're going to stop this right now, this back and forth, okay? We have to have some civility in here. We have our
Yes,
chief
ma'am.
clerk, Sue Parker. If you could please come on up.
Make a ruling. That lady has gorgeous hair. Well, the Republicans are just trying to stall at this moment. They have issued a lawsuit to try to stop it. So now they're going to try to stall it as it makes its way through. This is a committee hearing. Pretty hair. I like pretty hair. And she's got gorgeous fucking hair. She does too. She can be my GOP mommy. This is California. She can be my GOP mommy. This is the Democrats in power and the Republicans trying to stall. No, I feel like Texas is tomorrow. They come back into session tomorrow. I feel like we just heard that in the last story. I may be wrong. Oh, we may just be wrapped up here. We may not get the conclusion. I couldn't find a story about this.
All right, we're going to take a temporary recess. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Thanks.
I don't know what happened after that recess. I could not find any story about this issue, but that was fun to watch. Were they in California today? Were they down in New Mexico, Arizona? Where are they at? Christy Nome was somewhere. Texas probably Texas. Oh, New Mexico. She was in New Mexico today, and I'm sorry, but she can absolutely be my GOP mommy.
Oh, thank you so much.
Ozenpeck ass.
How are you, Secretary? Good to see you again.
Well, if she shoots my cats, I'll beat the fuck out of her, so it's a win-win for everybody, right?
I'm Christine Nome, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security, and I appreciate you all being here. I know
I'm not a violent person, but
important event. As of tomorrow, President Trump will have been in the White House and in charge of this country for 7 months. And in this first 7 months, he has accomplished some unprecedented things for the security and the safety of all.
yeah, you're right.
As
you're
you
right.
know, when he campaigned to get elected as President of the United States, he promised the American people that he would secure our border, that he would ensure that the invasion of the illegal criminals that were coming into our country under the Biden
Sorry, I wouldn't sacrifice you for some noogie.
do all that he could to restore the safety to our American communities. And he has done exactly that. In fact, today we have the most secure U.S. border that we've ever had in the history of this nation. It's incredible the work that he has done along with the good folks out of CBP and ICE and law enforcement, federal agencies in partnership with states like Texas right here, and also with our local law enforcement that have stepped up and deployed individuals and resources to help us secure this border.
I got cat hair all over
We're going
me.
to be talking about the incredible work that these individuals have done in making.
Do you know what the incredible work is? Do you guys see it behind her? Do you notice something about the wall? Trump was apparently upset about the color.
Sure that we're continuing to construct infrastructure. And when you look at what is behind us as far as the wall that is being built, you see obviously the structure, but also there will be more added to it as far as technology, cameras, sensors that will ensure that it will be secure far into the future and that will be efficient as well with our resources and our individuals and our agents that are out here on duty day and night, making sure that America is safe. Remember that a nation without borders is no nation at all. And we're so thankful that we have a president that understands that and understands that a secure border is important to our country's future. Now, if you look at the structure that's behind me, it's tall, which makes it very, very difficult to climb, almost impossible. It also goes deep into the ground, which would make it very difficult, if not impossible, to dig under. And today, we are also going to be painting it black. That is specifically at the request of the president, who understands that in the hot temperatures down here, when something is painted black, it gets even warmer, and it will make it even harder for people to climb. So we are going to be painting the entire southern border wall black to make sure that we encourage individuals to not come into our country illegally, to not break our federal laws, but that they will abide and come to our country the right way so that they can stay and have the opportunity to become United States citizens and pursue the American dream.
Trump specifically requested to paint the wall black so that it would make it harder to climb. You know how the right-wingers used to say they didn't mind when people came here legally? They didn't mind immigration. They just wanted them to do it legally. I believe the policy of the Trump administration has proven that to be true. But now they're just going mask off about it. Here's Charlie Kirk.
And we're still formulating it. It's okay that I don't and you don't are not able to word it as crisply as we'd like, because now this has been forced. By the way, some people say, well, American is just a race. That's not true at all, actually. Like Thomas Sowell's a great American. I would say Clarence Thomas is an American. So that's not correct. So you got to figure it out. Everyone says, well, we just need immigrants to come legally. We just need immigrants to come legally. That's not true. Omar Fattah came here legally. Ilhan Omar came here legally. Rashida Tlaib, her parents came here legally. Zohran Mamdani.
Whoa. Omar Fattah, a terrorist, next to 3 Muslim politicians who have done no terrorism whatsoever. They just have Arabic-sounding names, so that's scary. Oh, my God.
That's not correct. So you got to figure it out. Everyone says, well, we just need immigrants to come legally. We just need immigrants to come legally. That's not true. Omar Fattah came here legally. Ilhan Omar came here.
Oh no, that's the name of the guy. I was thinking of Omar. What? That's the. I was thinking of the dude. The who's the shoe bomber or whatever. I'm sorry, I got that confused. Okay, he did just name politicians. I thought he threw out the name of a terrorist and then named politicians. Yeah, he's talking about the dude that's running for mayor in Muhammad Atta. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you, DJ Dub. My apologies. That was racist of me. Holy shit.
Here legally. Rashida Tlaib, her parents came here legally.
Cancel Justin.
Mamdani came here legally. Here's another piece of tape. Now, this you might think, I want you to guess, actually. I'm going to play this piece of tape. Where is this? Is it Mogadishu? Is it Brussels? Is it Berlin? Is it Minneapolis? Let's play Guess the State. Guess the State here live on the Charlie Kirk Show. And I'm not allowed to say that this guy's not an American. I'm sorry, he's not an American. Play cut 393.
The dude running for office in America, standing next to the American flag, not an American just because he's not speaking English, I assume. That's what makes him not American, correct, Charlie?
That is in. Anybody? OHIO. How's that, Danny? Your state's doing great. That is an Ohio victory party for Islami Muhammad. Now, when we think of what it means to be American, is someone by the name of Islami Muhammad?
Sure.
I don't think so. Producer Andrew's take is this, and I think he gets it mostly right, but I'm not quite there yet. I think the idea of the thumos, like going all in, the spirit.
He has the picture of Cartman as him behind him.
Investing into the nation, meaning that you have committed your innermost being into the nation. I think there's something there that from classical work I talked about with this Dr. Orr. This is Andrew's paragraph. An American is first and foremost someone born in America who speaks English, who is raised here, who is steeped in Anglo traditions.
Who speaks English.
Justice, equal rights, and believes in or at least has reverence for Christian traditions that have undergirded our law and customs. An American is also someone who we allow...
I'd hate to tell you this, Charlie, but you realize, you say Christian traditions. I assume you mean like Abrahamic traditions, which Muslims are, and probably adhere to the teachings far better than you do.
To move here, who works without criminality nor harbors animosity for this country, and who, after time of painstaking pursuit, gains the incredible rights, freedoms, privileges of our citizenship. The former should be given extreme deference, and the latter should be given away with supreme caution and sparingly far less than is currently allowed. I think that's pretty good, Andrew. But there's still something about the allegiance that you need to have.
The problem with South Park is they were making fun of him. He was the butt of the joke, but he really believes those things. So it wasn't like it hurt him or anything. Because he's like, yeah, I just believe that. So I think Matt and Trey really failed in getting under Charlie Kirk's skin. I've got a dude who is, for some reason, now like my most popular video on YouTube. Views have just continued to go up and up and up and up for like 2 years now. A couple of years ago, Alex Jones went on a rant about how awesome white people are. And I spliced it together with the Trevor Moore fucking song, Goddamn, White People Are Geniuses. And the comment section is wild, because I'm getting new comments every day. And some dude showed up. And that's been the most common thing, is like the people that are offended, they do the thing that Trevor is doing in the video. And I'm like, brother, the video is literally mocking you. Please get it. It's insane. It's insane. Where are we at, my notes? Oh, okay. I'm surprised Charlie didn't bring it up. And if there is like another 5 minutes of this video, if this was today, I'm pretty sure Charlie would have brought it up. This might be a clip from yesterday. When Media Matters posted this today. I don't know if the clip is from today's show. If I was to continue to let this play, it's very likely that Charlie Kirk would bring up the story I'm getting ready to mention for you, because this is the new right-wing Laken Riley bullshit.
Tonight about that truck driver accused in last week's deadly crash over on the turnpike in Fort Pierce.
Yes, right. And for the first time, video from inside the cab shows the exact moment of impact.
Yeah, CBS 12's Katie Benty is joining us tonight live with how this case has sparked a national debate over immigration and trucking safety.
Well, Jim, Luli, this is really about more than just one bad U-turn. The truck driver accused of causing it is undocumented, licensed in California under a controversial law. And now new video taken inside his cab shows the very moment that everything went horribly, horribly wrong. Video circulating online shows the shocking view from inside a semi as a minivan slams into the trailer and wedges underneath. Troopers say that driver, 28-year-old Harjinder Singh, had just made an illegal U-turn cutting across the Florida Turnpike in Fort Pierce last Tuesday. The move left his big rig blocking all north.
Yeah, you should not do that. That is not the... First of all, you shouldn't be pulling a U-turn in a goddamn semi. Never do that. T-minus, do you see this bullshit? Holy fuck.
Went horribly, horribly wrong. Video circulating online shows the shocking view from inside a semi as a minivan slams into the trailer and wedges underneath. Troopers say that driver, 28-year-old Harjinder Singh, had just made an illegal U-turn cutting across the Florida Turnpike in Fort Pierce last Tuesday. The move left his big rig blocking all northbound lanes. The minivan had no time to brake. All three people inside from Broward and Miami-Dade counties were killed. Singh is now charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide. He's being held in the St. Lucie County Jail with an ICE detainer, meaning he'll be deported after his criminal case. Federal records show Singh entered the U.S. illegally through the southern border in 2018. Records also show he got his commercial license in California.
Wait, what? He entered the country during the first Trump administration? Is that what I heard? He entered the country during the first Trump. Trump lets illegals into the country and they go on to commit crime. Did you guys hear that? Trump let an illegal into the country and he went on to commit a crime. Trump, pro-illegal immigrants.
California. Under a law called AB 60, passed in 2013, undocumented immigrants can apply for driver's license, even commercial ones. The state argues it's safer to have everyone licensed, tested, and insured.
Yep.
Florida's highway safety director called Singh's actions, quote, shocking and criminal. And longtime trucker Grant Maxey says industry standards need a closer look.
It's been a big problem in the last 5 to 8 years.
It's clearly not murder.
It really is. There's a lot more people that are holding CDLs that cannot speak or read English.
So?
The Department of Homeland Security told CBS 12 News it filed the detainer to keep Singh in custody, blaming California's leadership and licensing policy for putting him behind the wheel in the first place. Now here in Florida, semis are banned from using those official use only turnarounds. Troopers say Singh did it anyway, and that decision cost 3 lives.
He sure did.
Turnpike, I'm Katie Benty, CBS 12 News.
Just complete stupidity. But I mean, it wasn't intentional. It was negligent homicide is what it was. Which should yield you like a manslaughter charge or something like that. Reckless vehicular homicide. If it had been a white driver, it would have only made the local news. And that's why, when there was that one immigrant that was a drunk driver and killed that, I think it was a high school student. The family was so incredibly upset about it. Because they were like, if it had just been a white guy, we'd be able to live in peace, but we're being made like political pawns. And that's what the right got really upset, because I think the father said, I wish it was a white guy that killed them. Because, that happens all the fucking time, and the right wing doesn't make a political football out of it. All right, welcome in. Samson, I tell you good evening. Meat Cakes, Lenny. I want to say it was leading into the election last year. It wasn't all that long ago. And that's why it was one of the big hot button topics. Oh, in case you guys couldn't tell, we're in the crime section. I know crime and politics, they go together nowadays. Smash, welcome in. A social media influencer found shot dead in her car in Mount Vernon.
Other news this evening, police have identified the woman found brutally murdered on the Cross County Parkway. The nightlife influencer was found dead behind the wheel.
Michael, I didn't tell you good evening.
Multiple times on her way home from work. Now police are searching for whoever pulled the trigger, and they're trying to figure out why. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo is live in Inwood with more. Anthony?
Yeah, Sandra, there's quite a memorial.
Damn, look at them legs. Holy shit.
Outside of Opus Lounge here.
Of course.
Ariella Mejia Polanco worked for several years. A woman just walked up and lit a candle, tells us that she worked alongside her, and she describes Ariella as always being happy. Well, it's the exact opposite now that the nightlife community is feeling. And even though police say this killing was likely targeted, well, those who worked alongside Ariella are now in fear until this killer is caught. There's no small way to say goodbye to someone who was larger than nightlife. Her name spelled out across a floral heart, a big portrait on West 202nd Street, right next to Opus Lounge, one of the spots she worked at.
I wonder if she was targeted.
People describe Ariella Mejia Polanco.
She's beautiful. She was beautiful. Beautiful. Pretty.
Known as Ariella La Langosta on social media, it's that kind of admiration that attracted more than 500,000 followers. Her notoriety as an influencer naturally brought about shock with her death, especially in her community.
Crazy stalker, I would guess.
R.I.P. Dominican Pretty.
That's what it really hurts.
That I'm amazed that we don't have more influencers that are victims of violent crime, to be completely honest with you.
Dominican, very beautiful. Such a thing like this, very, very sad.
It was Sunday morning at around 8 o'clock. Westchester County Police showed up to a grisly scene on the Cross County Parkway near the Broad Street Mount Vernon exit. Mejia Polanco was found dead behind the wheel of her G-Wagon, shot multiple times. She was headed home from work at Icon, New York in Inwood. The Lounge writing in part, "Our hearts are broken. Your joy, your humility, and the way you treated everyone with so much care always made you stand out." Police are investigating this as a targeted killing, not random, but investigators are trying to figure out who wanted the influencer dead and why. Mejia Polanco's family tells us the 33-year-old was a great daughter and mother who leaves behind 2 children. Ages.
It was like Flash was talking about earlier. You can use geolocating of the trees to determine where somebody is. Being an influencer is so fucking dangerous.
13 and 14.
Being a woman on the internet is fucking dangerous.
Heartbreaking to see these things.
Kind of frightening, though.
Yeah, it's very frightening. It is.
And again, that is what we've been hearing from many of the people we've spoken with. In fact, I have to stress that several of them were too afraid to go on camera because of the manner and the circumstances that Ariella was in which Ariella was killed. There have been no arrests at this point as police again still search for the killer and also to identify a motive. Opus Lounge, where she worked for several years, releasing a statement saying in part that nightlife here in New York City has lost an angel. We're live in Inwood. Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Oregon gal, welcome in. Glad to see you, darling. Hope you were well. Couple cops in Utah not doing so well. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. We think they're good cops now. A neighbor details the final moments before a shooting that killed 2 officers in Tremonton, Utah.
Welcome back in. Today we are following major breaking news out of Tremonton where 2 police officers were killed in the line of duty. We've got Sheriff Park live at the scene of the shooting right now. Sheriff, can you tell us what's happening right there?
Yeah, well, there's still a lot of investigating going on here at the house. Obviously, the crime tape is up. We've got windows that are broken out at the house, but we've got the Box Elder deputy who is at the hospital, the one that was involved and injured and survived this, and the canine that was also injured at a vet. But let's go out to Brian Carlson right now, who has been here since early this morning to walk us through the details of this situation. Brian, really heartbreaking, sad situation to have 2 officers killed in the line of duty here.
You know, for these people here in Box Elder County, it's not something they have seen, I don't think, in their entire lifetime here in Box Elder County. And for us here at home, not only are we seeing the house here where these officers are gunned down, but we're also seeing video that these neighbors took of the after.
You needed some Justin Freakin. I think I need some green. You want to light one up, tip one back? No flash, no. Bad boy, bad flash. The dogs are victims. They are victims of the cops.
Aftermath that occurred afterwards. And I spoke to that neighbor, at least one of them, who was the last person who may have talked to that first officer killed while he was alive.
This is how it looked last night, shortly after 2 Tremont and Garland
bad flash
lost their lives, reportedly at the hands of an armed gunman.
Upon arrival, they immediately began taking fire. They requested additional units and then stopped answering their radio.
I got a unit for you, ma'am.
I hear them smashing windows. A neighbor now sharing with KSL video he took of the roughly 50 officers who came to help them. It started
50
just after 9 p.m. Police say the first officer had received several 911 hang-up calls traced to this Tremont neighborhood next to North Park Elementary. Neighbor Tyson Taylor tells me that he spoke to that officer trying to find who needed help.
And he just said, "Are you pushing the button for distress on your phone?" I'm just like, "No, I'm not doing that." So I showed him my phone, and then he just drove off around the block. He's like, "I'm just trying to find this distress call. It'd be an easy night or whatever," just something like that.
Minutes later, Taylor says he heard gunshots and drove around the corner to find the officer still alive.
He was just on the corner, and I said, "Hey, I heard some fireworks," or it sounded like fireworks. He told me, "No, your neighbor on the corner is shooting his guns, and it's an active shooter right now." He says, "You need to go home and get in your home."
Moments later, Taylor heard more gunshots and learned the officer and a second Tremont and Garland officer were both shot and killed right there at the scene, while a Box Elder County Sheriff's deputy arriving with his police dog were both shot and injured. Brigham City Police now revealing the officers and deputy were responding to a domestic disturbance.
They really are unknown. We don't know what we're walking into, and they are one of the most dangerous events we can be dispatched on.
So far, unclear why the alleged gunman who lives at the home reportedly opened fire on the officers. But police say it was bystanders who actually convinced the man to surrender to the dozens of officers from Logan to Ogden who arrived shortly after.
Those acquaintances and relationships probably played a key role into that.
And that's one of the most amazing aspects of this story is that those bystanders are able to convince the shooter to be able to surrender. Now, we know that that suspected shooter has been booked into the Box Elder County Jail on charges of aggravated murder. KSL is confident we know his identity, but we're waiting for police or the jail to confirm that it's him. Live here in Tremont and Cher, I'll send it back to you.
So that happened over the weekend? You said Saturday, right? That was from last night's news in Utah. An arrest in Texas. The next couple of stories, both content warning. An arrest in Texas causing some controversy. People think this cop might have used excessive force.
Camera of a takedown by a Texas City police officer. You see, the officer was working with the Galveston County Sheriff's Crime Reduction Task Force in Kemah when this happened yesterday around 3 o'clock. Our Abigail Dye has both sides of that story.
What are you doing?
So he's out here committing crimes.
What are you doing? Babe, just let him! Babe, just let him! Just let him!
This video was taken outside of a shopping center in Kemah, Texas. This is Texas City Police Officer P. Baller that you see in the video. He's sitting on top of Weston Maybe, who's now sitting in jail, charged with assaulting a peace officer.
What are you
What?
We were getting school supplies, and as I was going to go open up the trunk to get the
Charged with assaulting a peace officer. All I see is a cop assaulting him.
stroller out, I saw a cop coming from like Waterburger area, and the license plate he's saying is not coming back to our cars. It's not coming back as registered at all. So I'm like, I need to get my phone to show you all the documents because I'm at the trunk. When I go to get my phone, he's throws them on the ground. I grab it. I'm coming over there. I'm started recording. And I started freaking out before I started recording. Why would a police officer feel the need to do such excessive force when he wasn't? My husband did not do anything to him.
I requested the charging documents in this case to get the other side of the story. Thanks, Aaron. They say the officer
Which is a lie.
tried to make contact with Maybe because his license plate didn't return in the state database. They say that Officer Beller alleges Maybe was being defiant and trying to get back into the vehicle, saying that's when Beller decided to take Maybe to the ground to detain him, and that's when Officer Beller says Maybe punched him in the face.
Bullshit.
He's beating the out of that kid.
The woman who took this video says she saw the takedown. First of all, could you clarify, do you know the person who was arrested or his wife in any personal way?
No, I had never met them before. You know, I heard a loud commotion and looked over just as the police officer was grabbing a young man by his shirt and throwing him to the ground.
At any point, did you see him hit the officer?
I did not.
I've been reaching out to Texas City Police today for their take, and they posted this on their Facebook page just about an hour ago. This is the mugshot of Maybe and his charging information. There's also a lengthy press release, and there are a couple new things on there. One,
$100,000 bond. Bullshit.
he bought the license plate online, and that press release, it also says that when the officer escorted Maybe to the front of the patrol car, Maybe began physically resisting and struck the officer in the face with a closed fist, not mentioning the takedown when court documents say that Maybe hit the officer.
Of course it didn't.
After he was taken to the ground. So we have a couple things that are a little different from the court documents to this press release, but long story short, police say that Maybe hit.
Oh, the cops lied.
And witnesses say that's not what happened.
And you had two different accounts there from the witness.
Right.
And also the woman that was recording.
Yes. So the witness who saw it all happen, and then, of course, Maybe's wife, who was also there, says that her husband didn't hit the officer.
Well, the story doesn't end here. Hopefully Texas City reaches out and they can kind of clear up some any additional information if they have anything else they want to add to that.
Absolutely. And, you know, dash camera, body camera, those things won't lie. So we might not have the full picture and the full truth.
The cops sure do lie.
At least.
Wow. Free Maybe. A couple of weeks ago, there was a stabbing at a Walmart in, was it Michigan? I think it was Michigan. A couple bystanders, it was like a black Marine, was able to subdue the suspect. We now have footage from inside of the Walmart of the knife attack taking place.
Watch as the suspect with the green backpack sneaks up on his first victim, the woman in black. He appears to throw her to the ground, then chase another customer. Authorities say it was just the start of last month's stabbing spree at a Michigan Walmart. The 360-degree video paused and rotated by authorities in Traverse City. The next target, this man in blue. The suspect, identified as 42-year-old Bradford Gilley, then appears to jab his right hand at that man in the jacket who goes flying. Moments later, you see Gilley run left into the pharmacy before appearing to stab someone in frozen foods. This man attacked by a display of cherries. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, victim Aaron Bedeau says he was shopping with his wife and...
attacked beside a display of cherries. not attacked by a display of cherries. That implies something completely different. What up, Dangerous Rhino? Yeah, I was like, fuck. He was attacked by a display of cherries. The vibe in here is if you play your cards right, you'll get a titty slap. That's the vibe.
A titty slap! Come on now.
I vote for this fucking dick. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
All we're establishing is this guy's wicked, sick aesthetic.
Not high enough for this shit.
I guess I gotta thank Matt Wall for introducing me to JustinFREAKIN.
Hey there, y'all. We're about to get stupid, locked into what that news beat doing. Fu Manchu and slick bandana, colder than ice, smoother than Santana. Audio, video, chat and calls. Right wing nut jobs haunt the halls. What you wanna watch? Hey, what you think? And there's only one choice. It's JustinFREAKIN.
The guy's, he's a formidable voice in the call.
Light one up and tip one back. It's a right to be high. Let's grab a snack. It's fucking news, quick panic attack, and play your cards right and get a titty slap. Jump in Discords, have some fun. The man will talk to everyone. Get high and try to debate. When shit pops off, chat thinks it's great. What do you think you're doing? Join the troll patrol. Whatever discourse is brewing, he gives it that southern drawl.
So let's go ahead and bring in Justin. Hey Justin, how's it going, brother?
First of all, I want to say you're poser South. I'm in Alabama. I'm the real South.
Okay, all right. So why don't you tell us what it takes to be a man?
Well, I don't know. I'm in Alabama and I'll fuck a man in a dress. Why won't you fuck a man in a dress? Are you that insecure that you won't fuck a man in a dress?
That's fantastic. So you're okay with that, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Good.
Right-wingers are morons.
Light one it and hit one back. One more click. Before we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up, tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.
Thank you, Lenny, for saying my editing skills are superb. That's why Cursor was like, AI took your jib. And I'm like, I don't think AI can take my jib. AI can't do that. Now, that doesn't mean that people won't resort to AI to try to save some bucks in a recession, but if you really want the job done right, you gotta come to a guy like me. Rhino, where'd you go to, my friend? Did I run you off? You not man enough to be in this stream? Did you get triggered? If you guys hadn't noticed, like we get a raid or something, I'll usually play the video because I feel like it's a good summation of what it's like to watch the Troll Patrol. Media Winch did a great job. Did they not like me? I thought maybe they take themselves too seriously. But do you think they were a right winger or a left winger? They might have been a left winger and they were looking for a fight or something. Yep. They pieced out. They are not in the chat anymore. I never checked the chat. I never checked to see who's in here. But Byronic, I see you. You creeping in here. Everyone likes me? No, everyone does not like me. I feel like that's if you're popping into a political chat, who did you vote for is a pretty common question. Maybe. I don't know. I think it is a perfectly reasonable question to ask a political streamer when you first walk in. That would give you the best idea of where they are on this. I mean, if I said Harris, that doesn't really give you a idea of where I am on the spectrum. Tosh, I don't like you. I think you're really stupid. My friend, I am done engaging with you because, like, it was a real pain in the ass when you called in the other day because, one, you wouldn't let me talk, and two, just like with engaging you on Twitter, I show you facts that are indisputable. You mentioned George Floyd when we were on the call. I showed you the autopsy report. Said that he was murdered. And you're like, but some dude on Rumble told me he had fentanyl in his mouth. I'm like, a trial found that he was murdered by the cops. We all watched it on video. He was murdered by the cops. The autopsy report says he was murdered by the cops. So you don't get to go back and create a narrative, which is what you accused me of doing. You don't get to create a narrative that he wasn't murdered by the cops. You see what I'm saying? You called me a pedophile because I pointed out that that dude, he's an influencer that goes on Roblox and he entraps people, what he does. And the reason why Roblox banned this guy, now all the right-wingers, you got it from libs of TikTok, all the right-wingers are like, oh, Roblox is pro-pedophile. That's why they banned the guy. Not realizing that this dude is making content saying that he's going to Roblox and giving other predators the idea that they should go to Roblox and prey on kids. You see, that's Roblox's thought process on that. Is this dude is actually creating more of a problem for them because he is creating more pedophiles on their platform. It's a perverse incentive structure. Do you see what I'm saying? And that is why I pointed out why Roblox would ban him. You called me a pedophile because of that. You called me a pedophile. Then when I pointed out Donald Trump, literally a proven pedophile, you demanded absolute proof, which I gave you. I mean, a mountain of fucking evidence, and you just ignored it. You accused me of ad hominem, and I explained to you multiple times that I never committed ad hominem against you. And I still think you have no idea what ad hominem means. And it just goes on and on and on like this. You posted Fox Business Channel saying that the California minimum wage costs jobs. I showed you a Harvard study that said that it didn't. You argued that the study didn't say what it said. And then I showed you that there are now more fast food workers in California than ever. Because your contention was half the workforce or some shit was replaced by iPads. You're fucking stupid. You're fucking stupid, man. And more fast food workers in California now than ever, but yet you're still stuck on the minimum wage cost people their job. Even though that's fucking impossible. Fucking impossible. What was it? What was the other one? There was oh shit. Cuz that's what the food stamp thing. Food stamp. You went on like I had shared something out about the food stamp program. Like Republicans wanting to ban people from using food stamps to buy soda. And you're like, "I think that's a great idea." And I pointed out, you just want to punish people. If you cared about nutritional value of people on food stamps, that you would advocate for being able to buy hot food with food stamps. Now, this dumb fuck thought I was talking about McDonald's, not, prepared food at a grocery store. And on top of that, he said that, there's 9 states where you can use food stamps to you go to a restaurant. And I pointed out, no, that is a separate program. 9 states have a separate program that you can sign up for if you are not able to prepare your own food. Someone who is disabled, someone who is homeless, doesn't have the ability to prepare their own food. And this motherfucker was like, it also includes people over 60. You left that out on purpose. And I'm like, that's not even the point I was making. It had nothing to do with the point I was making about EBT originally. You were the one that went off on McDonald's. You demanded that I have precise language, that I just didn't mention that it also applied to people over 60, and you thought that was some kind of gotcha. You didn't even know it was a separate program, you absolute fucking moron. So, once again, I encourage you to apply the standard that you apply to yourself to other people. If you demand that I provide absolute proof to you, don't go making claims that you don't have absolute proof for. You're an idiot, and I think you are really annoying. So, I'm tired of spending my time. I love to argue, and I can't help myself. That's why I had to mute you. I love to argue. A dumb fuck acted like a dumb fuck. Indeed. So, I couldn't help myself, so that's why I had to mute you on Twitter. If you got something to say, fucking he likes to do a hit and run in the Discord. He likes to post shit in the Discord. And it'll always be like some 2-hour video from Rumble. And I'm like, really, dude, stop getting your information from grifters on YouTube. Rhino, my friend, you got anything to say? We want to talk to you. The chat wants to know who you voted for. An influencer was they were apparently like a food review influencer. They were doing a live stream when a little bit of a I'm not going to ruin it. A mishap happened while they were on their live stream.
Dramatic video shows the moments 2 food influencers were hit by a car while they were mid-bite in one of their food reviews. I want to warn you, the video could be hard to watch. The couple says they were filming inside a restaurant in Houston, Texas. Whoa, that's
holy shit!
Barreling through the glass right into the booth they were sitting in. Amazingly enough, both of them were able to walk away. Let's bring in NBC News correspondent George Solis. Hard to watch. George, you spoke to the couple about this terrifying ordeal. What did they tell you?
Yeah, Christine. They are just saying they are lucky to be alive. I mean, there they were sitting at this restaurant doing a food review. They were mid-bite. Again, you can see.
Oh my God, Flash! It's like a before and after of Michael Jackson.
Doing a food review. They were mid-bite. Again, you can see as this SUV just slams into the building. There's glass that just rains all over them. The food goes flying. They amazingly walked away with just a few scrapes and bruises. They blogged everything. I mean, including when the ambulance arrived, their trip to the hospital, documenting their injuries.
Well, of course they did. That's probably the most influx of views they've had ever.
The sheriff's office there in Harris County, where this occurred, saying that the driver told him they
get that content
was in park and that it simply rolled into the restaurant. Again, amazing. They were not more seriously hurt. People in the restaurant with their mouths left open, as you mentioned.
She dropped her croissant.
This happened on Saturday, a few days removed from this. They're still a little banged up, a little bit of trauma, if you will, but for the most part, they're just sort of reflecting on all of this now a few days later. Here's what they told me.
As soon as we take a bite, we both closed our eyes because naturally we're just enjoying our food, and the car.
Quite often, that's what it is, Ducky. It's an elderly driver hits the wrong pedal. It could be a mechanical malfunction. The gas pedal got stuck. Could be DUI. We've watched many DUIs on this show.
Just came out of nowhere. I mean, it was glass, metal. I thought we were gonna die.
Very grateful. I
Yeah.
can say it's one of the wildest things that can actually really happen. Like 1 in a million, seeing a car just hitting a restaurant and just being there with that impact was just mind blowing.
Yeah, Christine, the pair saying they do believe they have guardian angels, including their late dog that passed away. They're saying some kind of divine intervention took place here to spare them some of the more severe injuries that could have been associated with this accident. And again, the sheriff's office saying, like, at this point, they're still investigating this, but no charges have been filed right now. Again, the couple just really grateful that they are, able to tell this story. Again, when you watch that video, it's just absolutely shocking to see that could have happened.
Totally. All right, George Solis, thank you so much, George.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories.
Shut up, Tom Llama.
Or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Fucking Curiouser had the content brain. When we were in Nashville, she was like, you should do this and let me film it. You should do this and let me film it. I'm like, I'm just enjoying myself. Twitch people, there is a poll in the chat for what we are going to watch when we get off stream, if you guys would like to vote. Coming up in about 10, 15 minutes. But we still got plenty of news to cover before then. The Assistant Attorney General of Rhode Island, which is not a real state. That is a fictitious state from the show Family Guy. Rhode Island does not really exist, and I refuse to believe it exists, but apparently the assistant AG in the state arrested.
It's a stunning moment as cops slap handcuffs on a top prosecutor in a ritzy Newport, Rhode Island night spot.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG.
She's a special assistant attorney general who handles cases all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
What are you probably?
She's also technically their boss. So, it's kind of wild.
Boss is detained me for.
You're being detained because you're not leaving.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG.
As 34-year-old Devin Flanagan was being put in the police car, she actually threatened the officer.
But you're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it.
Here's the thing, I don't think she was doing anything wrong, so he may.
The friend who was with her, identified as Veronica Hannon, was also arrested. She made an even bigger scene, slipping out of her handcuffs.
No! Babe, no!
She was bundled into a police car, literally kicking and screaming.
No!
She just kept screaming no. She was just screaming, shrieking at the top of her lungs.
The prosecutor and her friend were having a night out with pals at one of Newport's fanciest restaurants. Authorities say they were asked to leave, and when they didn't, police were called. The body cam shows just how obnoxious the women became.
And your protocol is if I ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off. And
Oh, wow.
She's a lawyer, so she knows.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I'm an AG.
Good for you.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be.
Now Devin Flanagan is in trouble with her boss, the state's attorney general.
She put me in a bad position.
Yes, she has.
Herself, humiliated herself, treated the Newport Police Department horribly. The inexcusable behavior. She knows better.
She is waking up this morning mortified about that tape.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG.
Okay, we get it. You're an AG.
AG.
Both women were charged with willful trespass.
She was asked to leave. They had apparently had too much and they were asked to leave, so cops probably in their right. See, I hadn't heard that part of it yet. So if the establishment had asked them to leave and they were still making a scene, the cops are 100% in the right. And she didn't have a reason to be like, oh, I'm an AG. Now, if there was some other dispute going on, she was a bystander, and she's like telling the cop, no, I'm an AG. That's a little different. Yeah, she was being a Karen.
Prosecutor's friend was also charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest.
You are allowed to get drunk at bars, but also if they ask you to leave, you gotta leave. It's kind of a deal. A woman has had her mugshot go viral. That's not the AG of Rhode Island. Her hair was lovely. Oh my God. She can be my GOP mommy. Oh. Let me see if I get the local news hit on this as opposed to this written story. Her mugshot has gone viral. Oh, God. It's just a written story. I don't get the whole thing. Well, never mind. A woman accused of pouring salt in an ex-boyfriend's car engine, throwing glitter in the air conditioning. A woman in Kentucky is accused of pouring salt in her ex's car engine, putting glitter in the AC. In a criminal complaint, the Richmond Police Department says Stephanie Carlquist totaled her ex-boyfriend's car after the couple got into an argument in early July. The complaint says Carlquist poured salt into the engine, glitter in the AC vent, slashed a tire, cracked the windshield, cracked the rearview mirror, and shattered the car's radio screen. Carlquist's ex-boyfriend told police she slashed one tire, but then did the rest of the damage after an argument on July 15th. So she slashed the tire on July 6th, but then did the rest of it on July 15th. Now, Flash, the mugshot is what's going viral. Apparently people think she's really pretty. She has pretty hair. They deemed the car totaled after the estimated cost of damages added up to $12,000. She has no regrets, according to her mugshot. Police say Carlquist told the tow truck driver about damaging the car when they arrived to take it to Goodyear. The tow truck driver then called the victim's mom to tell her about Carlquist's admission. After learning about the admission, Carlquist allegedly messaged her ex-boyfriend on Instagram. She told him she was stressed out because of her pregnancy, and that wait a minute, was it his kid? Thread, welcome in with the message, here you go, you fucking loser. I love you, Thread. Thank you, Mr. Cornhole. Police say when they interviewed Carlquist, she allegedly admitted to the glitter in the air vents and the damage to the windshield, but said he was overdue for the oil, motor, and all the other damage. Oh, my God. How am I doxing you? Your name isn't Cornhole. Love you, buddy. Oh, God. I saw you in there with Soup. I didn't say I was watching Soup. I said something before he came on. I was in there for a good little bit of time, but didn't. You've been. Oh, no way. Well, I mean, it is pretty close. Is the poll over yet? It's not. Okay, we got enough time. We got enough time here. Soup! Say his name and he will appear. Ignore this conversation. You did not hear anything about Thread. His government name is totally not Cornhole, I assure you.
Oh, let's see. Oh, stop. That's hilarious. Caught on camera in the Bay Area. A raccoon on a joyride in the back of a pickup truck. Emily McAdams says that she was driving to work in San Mateo just last month when she spotted this cool.
Yeah, just a little bit longer to vote on the poll.
Some video to remember the sweet ride.
What to watch on Twitch after the stream ends.
And back. Yeah. Oh, by the way, she said it seemed like the driver didn't notice the stowaway. So imagine this happening.
He's trying to get out.
Let's go with he likes it. And he's like,
I think he's into it.
Monday.
I'm a bandit.
Can a driver really go that long without looking in the rearview mirror?
Right. Okay, now it looks Casey like he's like, oh, okay.
But maybe he knows
There's a
not
little
to
bud.
jump.
This is what's called a kick. Okay, so news stations have stories like this. It's called a kicker for when they have like a minute or two left at the end of the show. They'll come back because you want to have a little time left. You'd rather be under than over. So you can always take the kicker out if you're over time. Looks like they're having fun with this one.
Oh, let's see. Oh, stop.
Yet another a thing that I adopted from
Area.
terrestrial broadcasting is having a kicker at the end of the show.
Emily McAdams says that she was driving to work in San Mateo just last month when she spotted.
I don't know. They're really smart.
In the bed of the truck.
I think they can find their way back.
Some video to remember the sweet ride. Does he like it?
It looks like he's dancing to the music.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, she said it seemed like the driver.
New King of the Hill it is. If you guys have not watched New King of the Hill, this will be episode 3 and 4 we will watch tonight.
Let's go with he likes it. And he's like, it's Sunday fun day.
I'm a bandit.
Hey, Stoop, then you missed the first 2 episodes last week. We'll watch episodes 3 and 4 this week.
He's like, oh, okay.
But maybe he knows
There's a
not
little
to
bud.
jump.
Highly recommend it. You should go back and catch it if you can.
Oh, stop. That's hilarious. Caught on camera in the Bay Area. A raccoon.
YouTube people, Kick, Rumble. Oh, we're not on Kick tonight. They can kick rocks.
That, she was driving to work in San
Rumble, D-Live, podcast people, YouTube. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before we hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol, live.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, she said it seemed like the driver didn't notice the stowaway.
Absolutely, we're going to get high.
This happening.
I can't tell if he likes it or if he's trying to get out.
Let's go with he likes it. And he's like, it's Sunday fun day.
It's Sunday fun day.
Can a driver really go that long without looking in the rearview mirror?
Right. Okay, now it looks Casey like he's like.
He's on the interstate, so possibly, yeah. Yeah, if you're on the interstate, you're just cruising and shit, and you're not passing anybody. There's not really any reason to look in the rearview mirror. You're just kind of looking ahead, right? Am I wrong on that one? Maybe he noticed the raccoon. He thought it was fun. He's like, oh, I'm just giving my little buddy a ride. That's possible. Give me 1 second here. Got to change the title. Yeah, what's the driver going to do about it? Pull over and let the raccoon out? So last week we watched episodes 1 and 2 of the King of the Hill reboot. Tonight we will watch episodes 3 and 4. Let me cue these up here.